Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
This was in 2007. 16 years later, on February 2nd, 2024, Apple is releasing the Apple Vision Pro, which they are touting as their next game changer. This raises a compelling question. Is it worth $3,500 for a chance to join a potentially historical moment? Well, in order to not miss out, I decided to see if this product is as revolutionary as Apple claims. Now, I've seen a lot of people try to measure this product's impact by seeing if it can replace the smartphone. However, I don't think the phone is actually a good comparison. I mean, imagine using the Apple Vision Pro outside or even moving around with it in general. We most likely will use it sitting down, so I think a better comparison is with the laptop. So far, the commercials have pitched it this way. The Vision Pro utilizes twin micro-OLED displays, which offers a much higher resolution and sharper impact compared to the liquid crystal displays typically found in most VR headsets. Each of the two displays in the Apple Vision Pro packs 23 million pixels, more than a 4K TV for each eye. In addition to having the best screen for VR, Apple wants you to use this as mixed reality. So there are a ton of sensors in the bottom of the device, which are meant to give you a 3D view of the room that you are in. With the depth sensors, you can place apps anywhere around your physical surroundings. This means you can see shadows being cast from your apps, glowing of the screen in your surroundings. With its incredible screen and mixed reality setup, it's poised to challenge the very devices we've relied on for productivity and entertainment in the home. Now, while the screen is impressive, in order to replace the laptop, it needs to do some key tasks better, faster, and more efficient. Otherwise, it has no reason to exist. So what kind of tasks? Well, things like browsing the web. Now, that's a pretty tough order. Being able to browse the web better than the laptop? Okay, watching videos, FaceTiming your loved ones, enjoying and sharing photographs, productive tasks, playing games, and reading ebooks. When people take a look at this list, they say, we've already got this product already. And that is the Meta Quest 3 and the metaverse created by Facebook. The problem is, the Meta Quest 3 is not better than the laptop at anything. The screen is not great, it's clunky, and the avatars are a little bit weird looking. That might change, don't get me wrong, but so far, it doesn't seem like Meta Quest 3 is that next revolutionary product. However, of the key tasks I've mentioned above, there are definitely some that I think the Apple Vision Pro does far better than a laptop. Can you guess what they are? Well, with its high-resolution micro-OLED displays, users can potentially view web pages in a more immersive and visually rich format. The ability to track and interact with web content through intuitive hand gestures, eye tracking, and voice commands in a three-dimensional space could offer a much more engaging and efficient browsing experience than us just using a mousepad with traditional laptops. They are essentially replacing the mouse experience, just like our smartphones once did when we decided to use multi-touch. And honestly, the eye tracking is quite insane from what I've seen so far. Looking at the demos, you don't need a mouse at all. You can just use your eyes to track the apps, and then you can use your fingers to do clicking and sliding. It's very much a different way of interacting with our devices. As a result, the Apple Vision Pro, with its improved spatial display, as well as its new gestures and hand tracking, is offering a much better browsing the web experience than the traditional laptop. Let's talk a little bit more about this display. We already know that it has 23 million pixels and is greater than a 4K TV. So this means that this is a significant improvement technically than a traditional laptop. This can make watching videos a more cinematic and engaging experience with the added dimension of spatial audio contributing to an enveloping audio and visual experience. The device's ability to project videos in a mixed reality environment could also create a sense of presence that laptops can't really match. So in terms of this, I can see this being applied to a home theater system. Imagine sitting courtside in a basketball game, right in the comfort of your home. I think this is something that is completely different than what a laptop experience and something much, much better. Apple Vision Pro also uses sensors to make a 3D mapping of you. This avatar is what is used to make FaceTime calls as well as sharing photographs. As a result, the spatial computing aspect of the Vision Pro could really revolutionize video calls as well as photo sharing. FaceTime could be more immersive, allowing users to feel as if they are in the same room with the person that they're calling. Similarly, viewing photos could be more of a dynamic and interactive experience, with the ability to view images in a three-dimensional space, potentially making these experiences more engaging than a traditional laptop. In fact, I think Apple is honestly doubling down on this. They feel so confident in the transformative capabilities of the Vision Pro, which is why they are offering 30-minute experiential sessions with the device once it gets released. The strategy underscores their belief that a hands-on, immersive demonstration will not only allow users to fine-tune the device to the way that they want, but also showcase the superiority in performance compared to traditional devices. So they're really betting high on the idea that once users experience the Apple Vision Pro and really get a sense of how these advanced features feel when they wear it, that they'll be astounded. But things like eye tracking, hand tracking, voice communication with Apple Vision Pro, as well as this amazing screen, does have its trade-offs. While I made an argument that it could potentially browse the web better, definitely interacting with just using our eyes, voice, and hands has serious limitations for doing productive tasks. Similar to the phone, because we're just using our hands and voice, it's really hard to get into these high productivity tasks like using PowerPoint or writing on Word or doing Photoshop. Any of these hardcore apps, writing emails, drafting documents, video editing, and all of these tasks, it just makes it much more difficult. So there is a trade-off there. Also, while it's worth noting that the immersive nature of the Vision Pro could potentially offer an absolute magical experience without a mouse pad, this does bring issues in the fact that there is no controller. Now, I'm sure there's probably potential plans in the future to have better gaming, but right now it doesn't seem like a priority because there isn't a controller. For tasks like reading ebooks, traditional laptops or e-readers might still hold an advantage due to their form factor and e-ink technology. Okay, so that seems kind of reasonable, but due to the sensors and the fact that there's so many trying to generate the best possible image, the device is also incredibly heavy. It's speculated to weigh above 1 pound, which could be 3 to 4 times heavier than the AirPods Max. For reference, I have these Sony headphones and they're quite light. And from my understanding, the AirPods Maxes are 2 to 3 times heavier than these ones. So discomfort can arise from the weight of this device. It can also have strain on the eyes or even psychological effects from prolonged immersion into virtual environments. Given these advanced features for Apple Vision Pro to have the best screen possible, this also requires significant power. And this raises questions about battery life, especially its high performance computing needs. Now, what I've heard is that the battery life is only 2 hours long, and that's pretty much nothing. So the current iteration of the M3 MacBook Pros are super energy efficient, and they can last pretty much the entire day. So this is a huge drawback. Now, I think Apple is already trying to address this battery life situation by having these battery packs that you can carry around. And I'm sure people are probably going to buy like multiple battery packs so that the battery can last longer. But this is obviously not an ideal solution. In addition, whether this issue is founded or not, the immersive nature of the Vision Pro could lead to concerns about social isolation. When people are deeply engaged in virtual augmented reality environments, they may be less aware of their physical surroundings and less interactive with the people around them. Now, this aspect of using immersive technology has already been a huge topic of conversation when the Meta Quest came out and in the tech community, particularly with devices that are designed to be used for extended periods. Plus, the obvious one is that if you buy an Apple Vision Pro, you can't really share it with anybody. Like, if you wanted to watch a movie with a significant other, you can't do that unless you buy a second one. So now you are $7,000 into the hole so that you can share this experience with somebody else. And finally, that leads me to the price. So the current beginning price of the Apple Vision Pro is $3,500, and who knows what types of add-ons, such as the battery pack that I mentioned earlier, that's going to add on to that price. To get to that level of video quality and that many pixels, it's definitely expensive. So as a result, Apple Vision Pro is definitely a significant investment, especially compared to the fact that you could get an M1 MacBook Air for around $1,000, and it could be an absolutely amazing product for you. So now when we look at the list, there's actually quite a few more issues we need to worry about as a consumer. And you know, when I look at a list like this, it's really hard to justify such a purchase. But then I remember that the first generation iPhone wasn't perfect either. It didn't have an app store. Similarly, the iPad lacked a camera, and the first Apple Watch struggled with having no battery life, so you couldn't really use it as a watch all day, and also it wasn't called iWatch. These examples from Apple's history reminds us that first generation products often come with these types of limitations. However, if you believe that the Apple Vision Pro is going to be this revolutionary product, then it's reasonable to expect and acknowledge that these shortcomings will be addressed over time. And I truly believe that VR, mixed reality, whatever you want to call it, it's here to stay. Just like the Macintosh when it was first released, just like the iPod that was super big in my day when I was younger, and just like the iPhone that I have right here, I do think that it is one of those revolutionary products. I definitely can also see that this can slowly expand to two distinct categories where you can have like a really bulky version, which you use at home, which definitely has the best screen, best immersive experience so that you can replace the laptop and TV. And then I can also see something that is more lightweight, like a pair of sunglasses that you can use, which might eventually replace the phone, that you can wear 24/7, which you can wear to the office, wear outside, wear all the time. And essentially, it's going to cater to different needs and preferences, offering versatility in the way we interact with this technology. And yeah, like Steve Jobs said, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who actually do. So buying this product is about embracing that future. Now, I say all of this to say, I am still a super poor master's student, so I'll probably not buy this product.